Good morning, children. May the peace of the Lord be with you. Now, when I say, "This is the day that the Lord has made," your response is, "Let us rejoice and be glad in it." So I say, "This is the day that the Lord has made." Good. So, thinking about yesterday's collective worship, your teachers would have told you the story, the creation story about Adam and Eve and how they upset God by breaking his rules. And as a consequence, their friendship with God was never quite the same, and he asked them to leave the garden. Now, this doesn't mean that God just stopped loving his people. He promised that one day he would send someone, a Messiah, to put things right. But until then, he asked his people to build a temple, and this was somewhere where they could worship God. Now, God gave very specific measurements. He knew exactly how he wanted it to look and the size of it. And right in the centre of it, he asked for something to be put there. What could that have been? What do you think God asked to go right in the middle of the temple? Teachers, you might want to pause it here to listen to the children's suggestions. What went in the middle of the temple? I wonder if anybody managed to get it right. It was a curtain. God wanted a curtain in the middle of the temple. Why a curtain? What does a curtain do? Teachers, again, you might want to pause it here and listen to suggestions. What's the point of the curtain? So the curtain was a barrier, a divider. It keeps the light out. This barrier was between God and the people. Now, once a year, a priest was allowed to go behind the curtain and talk with God. Ordinary people like you and I wouldn't have been allowed to have done that. But one important priest once a year was allowed to go behind the curtain and talk with God. I wonder why I'm talking to you about this today. What does this mean for us? Well, I suppose it's just a reminder that God is not only our friend and someone that we speak with and he loves us. It's a reminder that God is special and he's very important. So think about if we were going to have an important visitor to the school, let's say the Queen. The Queen was going to visit Downham. What kind of things would we need to do to get ready? Well, firstly, we would need to get the school tidy. We would need to make it presentable. We would need to think about what we were wearing. We would need to think about the things that we were going to say to the Queen and how we're going to say it. Because we would want to show respect for the Queen. Likewise, we need to make sure that we are showing respect for God. Now, sometimes you will hear people using God's name in a bad way, even using it as a swear word. And this isn't respectful. We don't like it when people say nasty things about our name. So we've got to show respect for God too. So children, my message for you today is not only about showing respect for yourself, thinking about how are you presenting yourself to other people? How do people perceive you? What do they see when they look at you? What are the words that you use? How do you use your words? Please remember to show kindness. Please remember to show respect. Look at people in the eye when you're talking to them. It makes a big difference. Okay, Children, your teachers are going to get the PowerPoint back up, and you are going to be singing the song All Through History today. But before I say goodbye, I'm going to say, may Christ's light ever dawn in our hearts. And your response is, as we give you our thanks and praise. Amen. So I say, may Christ's light ever dawn in our hearts. Amen. Have a lovely rest of the day, children.